Live, local breaking news. You're watching News Channel 3, live at 6.
A Battle Creek man accused of going on a deadly drug rampage across Kalamazoo County and crashing into an entire group of bicyclists faces the victims and their families in court. It's now been nearly 2 years since police say Charles Pickett slammed into the chain gang bicycle group.
Debbie Bradley, Melissa Feevig-Hughes, Tony Nelson, Larry Pollock, and Suzanne Sipple were killed. Their friends Paul Gobble, Sheila Jeske, Jennifer Johnson, and Paul Reynolds were seriously injured. And after a number of delays, Pickett's trial has begun nearly 2 years later.
How does it feel to be headed to trial?
It's a relief that we're able to go. I'm happy that we're finally getting to that point where we're going to be able to bring this matter to a conclusion for the victims and their families.
Pickett is charged with 14 felonies, including 5 counts of second-degree murder. Jury selection got underway on Monday, and our News Channel 3 mobile app users were first to find out. The jury was seated this afternoon. Rachel Glazer was in court as the prosecution and defense began laying out their cases today.
She begins our live team coverage now from the courthouse in downtown Kalamazoo. Rachel.
Well, Andy, Kate, the prosecution argues that the crash itself is really only half of this story. During opening arguments here today, the prosecuting attorney told the jury that Pickett was at a relative's funeral and had a dispute with a friend just hours before he drove under the influence of a cocktail of drugs.
And when she said, "Well, I'll see you later," his parting words to her were, "I'd be better off dead."
Seemingly depressed, the prosecution claims Charles Pickett Jr. downed a handful of muscle relaxers and painkillers before getting behind the wheel of his pickup truck. Laying out its case against the 52-year-old, the prosecution says Pickett knew how dangerous it would be to drive on those drugs, but made a conscious decision to do it anyway. Pickett's truck was reportedly seen driving erratically around Kalamazoo County by several witnesses within the half hour before the crash. The speeding pickup struck the cycling group from behind. The prosecutor says Pickett was going at least 58 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone, and there were no signs he tried to brake until after the first impact. 5 people were killed. The 4 others seriously hurt were in court today and will be testifying in this case. Now, Pickett's defense attorney did not deny the allegations, but disputed claims there was any intent, arguing the 5 counts of murder are not warranted in this case.
So the mere fact that Mr. Pickett did drive a vehicle, and that vehicle killed some people and seriously injured some other people, if that's shown, is not enough. Listen closely to the instructions, listen to the evidence, and then you have to weigh, and you have to look at those scales of justice, and they're not even.
The officer that dealt with him primarily, who rode with him in the ambulance, will describe his observations of Mr. Pickett, his opinion that Mr. Pickett was in no condition to be operating a motor vehicle, that he was substantially impaired.
Now, the Kalamazoo County prosecutor says new information along with many disturbing images will come out during this trial. It is expected to resume up tomorrow morning, with it expected to last up to 2 weeks. We will be here every day following this case, so stick with us online and on the air for updates. Reporting live in Kalamazoo, Rachel Glazer, News Channel 3.
Well, this high-profile trial has been years in the making, and the process has taken a real toll both on law enforcement and on loved ones. News Channel 3's Nikki Zizaza continues now our live team coverage from the newsroom with reaction, Nikki, from the prosecutor, who, of course, has been very close to this case from the very beginning.
Andy, it was an emotional day in court for everyone involved. Families of the victims and survivors hugged as they filed into the courtroom. And attorneys tell us they're thinking about everyone impacted as they unpack the details of the horrific crime. Prosecuting attorney Jeff Gedding says the high-profile case involving 52-year-old Charles Pickett Jr. is long overdue. The horrific nature of the June 2016 bicycle crash garnered national attention and impacted city leaders, community members, and survivors. Gedding says during the trial, the prosecution will have to consider the emotional and psychological factors connected to this trial.
Those people that were involved in the accident themselves, the families of those that were killed and those that were injured, they have a lot of connections within the community, and this was an incident that impacted Kalamazoo.
Pickett claims he has no memory of the crash. His defense attorney filed notice to use an insanity defense, but there was no mention of that during opening arguments. Live in the newsroom, Nikki Zizaza, News Channel 3.
Nikki, thank you. It took nearly 2 years for Charles Pickett Jr. to stand trial for this tragedy. He was arrested shortly after police say he crashed into the chain gang while they were on a 28-mile bike ride through Kalamazoo County on June 7th, 2016. 3 days later, he was charged with 5 counts of second-degree murder and 4 counts of reckless driving causing serious impairment. He was bound over for trial in November 2016. In August 2017, the Michigan State Court of Appeals denied an appeal from Pickett's attorney to suppress everything he said to police while being treated after the arrest. A trial date was set for September 19th of last year, but the trial was put on hold after his lawyers took the issue to the Michigan Supreme Court, stating there wasn't enough evidence to send Pickett to trial. Well, that request was later denied, which brings us to today. This tragedy has led to a number of safe bike ordinances, not just in Michigan, but around the country. You'll recall biking legend Lance Armstrong paid a visit to Kalamazoo on the 1-year anniversary of this tragedy last year. That ride was part of an effort to raise money for a permanent memorial for the victims near the crash site in Cooper Township.
Well, efforts for the memorial as well as funds to help the victims continue tonight, and you can still donate. You can find a link on our website. That's WWMT.com. And News Channel 3's Rachel Glazer will be in court to bring you live reports on air and online until a verdict in the Charles Pickett trial is reached. You can also follow her and our WWMT social media pages as this trial progresses. All right, checking weather now on a Tuesday and a live look at Bronson Park, downtown Kalamazoo through our new Peregrine Tower camera. A pretty shot there, but rain continues to linger in the forecast, although brighter days will be returning soon. Here's Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson in Severe Weather Center 3. Keith.
Well, Andy, not only are we missing the sunshine that we had yesterday, but we've also shaved about 15 degrees off those temperatures too. Some sweater weather, light jackets instead of the short sleeves that we had yesterday. Let's track those rain showers that are around right now on live Doppler radar. We put this into motion. Notice the showers themselves aren't really moving. They're just sort of developing in the moisture that sort of is really starting to crescendo across the area right now. Kalamazoo is starting to see a few sprinkles, a little bit of light rain around Plainwell and also around Gun Lake. Temperatures right now upper 50s to around 60 degrees. It's 61 in Kalamazoo and Allegan. A little cooler around Coldwater and Sturgis in the mid-50s. Cloudy with light rain developing tonight. We'll be around 51 degrees by midnight, but sunshine returns quickly tomorrow. I'll have more on that. A look ahead to your weekend forecast. That's coming up, Kate.
All right, Keith, thanks. Piles of dead fish are showing up at a popular boat launch. What investigators are saying, as they say cameras may have captured a culprit. Welcome back. Tonight, the DNR is trying to track down an angler who keeps leaving dead fish at a boat launch. Last weekend, dozens of dead carp were found at a popular boat launch on the Kalamazoo River.
It's bizarre. News Channel 3's Mike Kravsik is live now at Kalamazoo's Verberg Park with the latest. Mike.
Well, Kid and Andy, in response to this, concrete barriers were placed blocking access to the river. They were removed earlier today. Officials say this isn't the first time this supposed angler placed fish right here.
These photos of dozens of dead carp piled up on the concrete portion of Verberg Park boat ramp sparked outrage on social media.
I think it's general laziness.
Herb Theodore first discovered the mess last Friday.
That to me that's kind of classless in my book. If you're going to kill something, you either eat it or you dispose of it properly.
The DNR says it's illegal to dump fish in the water or on private land. The deputy director of Kalamazoo's Park and Recreation Department tells News Channel 3 he's working with the DNR to track down the man responsible, captured on a trail camera by the boat launch. He could be fined for littering.
There's a trash can right over here. Put the fish in the trash can. do something. Don't leave them out at the boat launch.
The city says the same man is believed to be responsible for other fish dumping incidences in the area dating back to last year.
Seeing things like this, it never sits well with me. Even if they're new to the sport, there's someone you can talk to try to find somewhere to get rid of the fish.
Fisherman Eric Musselman says there are many easy ways people can dispose of discarded fish.
If you can find a place to bury them, a lot of people use them for fertilizer in the gardens. I take my fish to a buddy who works at a golf course and they put them in their compost pile.
The Bow Fishing Association of America posted on its Facebook page asking if anyone had questions about their state fishing laws to contact them. Live in Kalamazoo, Mike Kravesick, News Channel 3.
Showers moving into West Michigan tonight, but they're not going to be around long. I'll tell you when we'll return to that sunshine. That's coming up in the forecast.
The family of a Battle Creek murder victim is offering a $1,000 reward as police try to track down his killer. Joseph Bowser was gunned down March 23rd at the Rivers Apartments in Battle Creek. Police have not been able to gain any leads in this investigation. Anyone with information on this murder investigation is being asked to call Battle Creek Police or a silent observer. About 30 counties in Michigan are now in the red zone for Lyme disease.
Yeah, this increase is part of a new report from the Department of Health and Human Services, and more cases of Lyme disease are being reported after exposure to ticks.
News Channel 3's Frankie Thompson has read through that report and joins us live in the newsroom with more tonight. Frankie?
Kate, Andy, health professionals are advising us to stock up on bug spray containing DEET. They tell me it will be one of the best tick repellents as the weather warms up. Red zone counties are areas exposed to ticks with Lyme disease. The most common pest carrying the virus is the black-legged tick. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says these cases are from humans and animals. Health professionals say though more counties are affected, this should not cause panic. If you're going outdoors, wear a long-sleeve shirt, long socks, and pants, especially in wooded areas. Health experts are advising you to check yourself and your pets before and after every outing. Some of the symptoms include fever, headache, fatigue, and aching muscles. Kent County is one of the state's affected red zones for the second year in a row. The health department's communication manager says the virus is typically very well tolerated. He says if symptoms increase, there's one sure sign if you've been bitten by a tick.
What's called a bullseye rash. So you have like a red spot that'll be about that big around, and then you'll have something else around it, and it'll look like a bullseye. At that point, you want to get to your doctor. That could appear 3 to even 30 days after you get the tick bite.
Health professionals say it's only a certain percentage of people that see severe symptoms. Anyone who feels they have been bitten and are feeling effects are advised to see a doctor immediately. Those cases should also be reported to the county health department to help continue tracking the bug. Live in the newsroom, Frankie Thompson, News Channel 3.
Well, some showers are starting to move into West Michigan, and that leads the way. And what I'm tracking tonight, we're going to see more of these clouds and more of these showers develop. But, you know, just like yesterday when I was telling you about them showing up in our forecast models, they're going to be light. We're just going to see some off and on showers that'll sort of be roaming about, developing about the area. And this moisture will be exiting the area pretty rapidly, so that by tomorrow, we'll be back to seeing some sunshine and some cooler temperatures on the way as well. Let me show you our 3-day fastcast. That'll take us from midweek to the end of the week. Lots of sun with some cooler temperatures. Typical high about 64 degrees. And as you can see, we'll be shy of that. And on Friday, there's a chance that with a mix of sun and clouds, we might even see a shower or two. Yesterday, the forecast models were a little more convinced that we would see some showers on Friday. Today, not as much, so stay tuned on that one. So in the meantime, we'll just say a chance for a few showers here and there. Let's extend it into the weekend. Looking good, by the way, for Saturday and Sunday. I think we'll see sunny skies developing as we go through the day. But remember, typical highs around 64 during this period, so we'll be a little shy of that. Slightly cooler Saturday, 59. Sunday, we're looking at a high of around 62 degrees. Well, right now, we're looking at lots of clouds as we look live in downtown Kalamazoo with our new Peregrine Tower camera, looking good as we look up to the north. So far dry, but I think that's going to be changing for you downtown Kalamazoo pretty soon. 61 degrees right now with a northeast breeze coming in at about 8 miles per hour. Some of the other temps right now, upper 50s in Battle Creek and Three Rivers, low to mid 50s in South Haven, Sturgis and Coldwater, Hastings at 60, and Allegan, like Kalamazoo, is coming in at 61 degrees. All right, let's get right to live Doppler radar and check out some of these showers that are sort of blossoming over the area right now. You know, the air starting yesterday was so dry, it's just taken a while for this moisture to increase in the atmosphere enough to where it'll support some of these showers. But our forecast models show that a little of that light rain that right now is around Oshtemo on the northwest side of town and west of Kalamazoo around Matawan, and then also just to the west of Hastings around Middleville, we'll continue to see these showers sort of pick up, I think, as we go overnight. Taking a look at Storm Tracker, we zoom out, you'll see this area of low pressure off to the south. We're sort of on the northern fringe of that. That's why we're just picking up a few of these showers. Let's quickly go hour by hour, and you'll see the rain just sort of pick up here tonight and then sort of move out of the area. Even at 1 o'clock in the morning, some rain around Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, Sturgis and Coldwater, but moving out of Allegan and also Saugatuck and Grand Rapids. And by the time we get to our morning commute tomorrow, looks like that rain will be gone and we'll see sunshine developing. So here's your outlook tonight. Light rain should be ending around daybreak. And again, underline light. Just a few scattered light showers, 44 for our low tonight. And then tomorrow, our skies will become mostly sunny, but a north wind will ensure that we stay a little bit on the cool side. Instead of a high of 64, typical will be around 55. 7-day forecast, there's that sort of iffy chance for a shower on Friday. Looking good for the weekend. And by the way, the forecast models look like we will be warming up big time next week. Low 70s Monday, maybe mid to upper 70s by next Tuesday.
This may be the best looking 7-day forecast we've seen in quite some time.
Since September or something.
Things are looking up.
Got to take him out to dinner or something this week.
I like that. I'll make that forecast even better for food. We'll work for food.
We'll get you a dessert at least.
Yeah.
All right, here's a look at what's coming up new tonight at 10 on the CW7 and at 11 here on News Channel 3. A West Michigan man wrongly accused of murdering a young girl says the justice system has failed him. Now, Ray McCann is fighting to clear his name of the crime he says he did not commit.
The Lions begin mini camp. What is Coach Matt Patricia hoping to accomplish as he gets his team on the practice field? Mike McCann has that answer next in sports.
Hi, everybody. Defenseman Corey Schooneman is the next captain of the Bronco hockey team. Schooneman was selected earlier this month, but the news not made public until today. The rising senior has played in 107 games during his Western career and led all Bronco Blue Liners with 25 points last season. Wade Allison, Colt Conrad, and Hugh McGing have been named assistant captains. On the diamond, Bronco outfielder Nate Grise continues to tear the cover off the ball. The junior swinging it at a .330 clip. He leads Western with 5 homers, 11 doubles, and 30 RBIs. Grise is currently in the midst of a 6-game hitting streak, during which he's hitting .400. He's homered twice, driven in 10. He's provided important pop in the middle of the Bronco offense, and he says he's doing it by keeping it simple.
Trying to stay consistent. I mean, anywhere from batting practice, tee work, whatever, you know, trying to be perfectionist at it. I mean, you're never going to, but you know, that gives you more of a chance to be average at it in a game of failures.
He gets pitched very difficult. He's constantly having to make adjustments on what guys are trying to do. They're desperately looking for holes in his swing, which is kind of hard to find, because if you miss, he's going to punish you.
In the NFL, Coach Matt Patricia and the Lions officially underway on a voluntary minicamp in Allen Park. It will run through Thursday. No notable absences for Detroit, as this is the beginning of phase 2 of the offseason training program. There are no live contact drills or team offense versus defense permitted, but the minicamp can provide individual instruction, and Patricia says it helps off the field as well.
This is a great opportunity for the guys to get to know who I am, you know, and what I'm about as a coach and as a person, and why this game is important to me. And I would say the specifics of, you know, things that we talked about is just some basic fundamental stuff, you know, football-wise, but really more just philosophical about organization and structure and just for what they expect.
Again, minicamp ends Thursday. That is also the beginning of the NFL draft, if that is possible.
Can you believe that? No. He's got a gruff exterior, but he really seems like a nice guy.
He does, and he was super nice when we talked to him back, guys, a couple months ago now.
That's right, I remember, sure.
Looking at Ziggy Ansah, by the way, with those.
He's large.
I can't, well, and also I can't move my foot up that high. I'm thinking, wow, I'm impressed. 55 degrees, not that he cares.
You gotta do more yoga.
I need to do more of something. 55 degrees tomorrow with that high. We'll see some showers overnight, but they'll be ending by tomorrow morning.
A Lions fan from Grand Rapids is just days away from getting the ultimate NFL experience. Kenneth Saul will be in Arlington, Texas for Thursday's NFL draft. He'll get a chance to take part in a number of activities, including grabbing lunch with NFL legends.
And deliver a jersey to the NFL commissioner as the draft picks are announced. That's a pretty cool experience.
Absolutely.
Good for him.
All right, thanks for watching.
See you tonight.